Well, good Thursday morning to you. Lord of mercy, early Thursday morning to you. It's Dan. I want to welcome y'all to my home in the sticks. Hope everybody's having a sure enough good Thursday. Lord, I'd like to make mention, if you're a new subscriber to the channel, I want to welcome you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. But gracious, here in East Central Mississippi, it has been raining endlessly for the last 5 days. I mean, just sure enough raining. Like the mud pit over here. But what I want to share with you and y'all today is, Lord, I got to get in them dang 16-foot raised beds, and I think we finna have to harvest them rutabagas and also some of those true blue collards. So give me a second, and that's what we finna do. Lord Dan, where you been? Christmas is just a busy time for law enforcement, and gracious, we've been busy. And with all the rain, it's just one of those things. But Dan done took a couple of days off. So hopefully, Lord, I can share a bunch of things that I got going on around here. But let's get started with these rutabagas. All right, let's get this guy up right here. Ooh-wee. Look at that right there. Now let's get down to some facts on rutabagas, and I don't really know if they facts, it's just what I read. Look at the size of this guy right here. Now as far as the rutabaga, I hear tell that the perfect size on the root to harvest them is about 2 to 3 inches. When the root gets to be about 2 to 3 inches in diameter, that is when the rutabaga is most tender. But on the other hand, I've heard when the root is about 4 to 5 inches, that is the optimal taste of the rutabaga itself. Now then again, a rutabaga is a root crop. It's often mistaken for a turnip, but it's a rutabaga. And the foliage of the leaves on a rutabaga are also edible, which we showing off gonna try. So I'm gonna pull up the rest of these rutabagas and I'll bring you back and show you what the harvest looks like. Okie dokie, let me show you. Look at there. I ended up pulling 4 of them. These 2, this one, and that one down at the end. I'm gonna leave these 2 guys because the roots on them, or the tuber on them, is not really that big. So I'm just gonna let these guys go and see what happens. Also, rutabagas really like a couple of good frost. They seem to get sweeter, and that's what I hear. Don't know, but we sure enough gonna try these. Well, look at there. That is a pretty rutabaga. And about maybe 4 or 5 inches in diameter. Really pretty. Look at these guys right here. Here is a true blue collards, and I've gotten approximately 9 harvests off of these 1, 2, 3, 6 true blue collard plants. So I'm gonna get to cutting these guys, and I'll show you the harvest on that, because I done showed y'all cutting these things before. All right, there we go. This is going to be the 9th harvest of my true blue collards, and I'm here to tell you these guys are quite tasty. Let me get all of this stuff squared away. We're going to get up in the shop. I'm going to show you how I intend to preserve the rutabagas and also the true blue collards. So let's go do that. Okay, brothers and sisters, here is one of our rutabagas. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean up the bottoms of these rutabagas. Got these little hairy things right here, still have a little dirt on them, but that's cool. I'm just going to trim them up. Kind of sort of like that. Maybe leave some of those hairs on there. And what I want to do is I want to cut about 1 inch up from the crown and save some of this green. And that's what it's going to look like, a cleaned up rutabaga. So I'm going to get these guys cleaned up, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what I intend on doing with these guys right here. And just for giggles, I'm gonna have to try a piece of this rutabaga leaf. I mean, I got to know what it tastes like. Kind of tastes like mustard, to be honest with you. I'm finna get on the rest of these rutabagas. See you in a minute. Okie dokie, y'all. This is the finished product. Here are rutabagas that I just harvested. I actually cut about an inch up or maybe 2 inches up from the crown. This is a suggested way to store them. How do you store them, Dan? Well, you could actually put these rutabagas in your refrigerator. If you have a high humidity drawer in your refrigerator that has a humidity control, these guys can be stored at about 90–95% humidity up to 4 months, maybe a little longer. What I plan on doing with these guys right here is I'm actually studying on making a rutabaga soup. Yes, you heard it, rutabaga soup. So not only do I have some fine looking rutabagas, but I also have a bunch of the leaves from the rutabaga. Speaking of leaves and speaking of stuff that looks like collards, here's my true blue collards. And what I do is, some of these small pieces of collards, I leave the vein in. The bigger pieces, I actually take a knife and cut this vein out. But I store my collards like this. And this is basically a vacuum sealed bag of collards. I had about 4 or 5 of these. I cooked some of these during Thanksgiving and they were quite good. But this is how I do mine. There's varying opinions on how you should store collards. Some folks say you should blanch them. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Myself, I don't blanch mine. I clean my leaves off, my collard leaves off real good, cut the big thick veins out of them, and I vacuum seal them. Never had a problem, but then again, I use them quite often. Long-term storage on the collards, that I don't know because never stored them long-term. So there you have it, y'all. My first ever rutabaga harvest here at my home in the sticks, and also how I preserve and store my true blue collards. So I hope y'all like this video, y'all. I enjoyed making it. If you like this video, go on and give it a thumbs up to help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home in the Sticks channel, y'all need to come on over and give me a look, because I'm always doing stuff. Really. And with that being said, you know what's coming. Dan Reffrey, sure enough, always gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody. You sure enough get your shine on. Especially when you can get some rutabagas and true blue collards harvested. That's right. And Dan Reffrey will see you and y'all in the next video.